Good morning, Watson.
Good morning.
I have to say that in matters of routine, you're reliable almost to a fault. 8 o'clock and you're washed, shaved, and more than half dressed. Can you do without breakfast?
Forgo breakfast? Oh, I'm not sure.
A postponement only, I promise you.
Well, in that case...
Splendid. It's time we went down to St. Luke's. Soames will be in a dreadful fidget until we tell him something positive.
Have you anything positive to tell him?
I think so.
You formed some conclusion?
Yes, my dear Watson, I have solved the mystery.
But what fresh evidence have you got?
Aha! It's not for nothing that I've turned myself out of bed at the untimely hour of 6. I've put in 2 hours' hard work and covered at least 5 miles, and I've something to show for it. Look at these.
Why, there are the 2 pieces of clay that we found in Soames' rooms yesterday.
And now look.
Another piece of clay. A third piece.
Yesterday we had 2, today we have 3, and it's a fair argument that where number 3 came from is also the source of numbers 1 and 2. Eh, Watson?
Well, it's a fair argument, yes, but...
Now, Watson, put an end to your toilet and let's hasten to St. Luke's, where, if I'm any judge of character, Mr. Soames will be in a fair state of fret.
Thank heavens that you have come. I feared that you'd given up in despair. What am I to do? The hour of decision is upon us.
You can let the examination proceed.
But one of the candidates...
He shall not compete.
You know him?
I think so. And I will demonstrate it to you. But first, please call your servant Bannister.
Bannister?
Do as I say.
Oh. Bannister, will you come here, please?
If this matter is not to become public, Soames, we must give ourselves certain powers and resolve ourselves into a small private court-martial. So I shall occupy this armchair. Yes, let's position it so that its back's against the light. Yes, good. Now, you, Soames, place a chair to my right, and you, Watson, to my left. Yes. So.
Yes, Mr. Soames? You called? What was it?
Come in, Bannister, and close the door behind you. Will you please tell us the truth about yesterday's incident?
I've told you everything, sir.
Nothing to add?
Nothing at all, sir.
Well, then, I must make some suggestions to you. When you felt faint and sat down in that chair, did you do so in order to conceal some object which would have shown who'd been in the room?
No, sir. Certainly not.
That's only a suggestion. I frankly admit I'm unable to prove it, but it seems to me probable enough that the moment Mr. Soames left you alone, you released the man who was hiding in the bedroom.
There was no man, sir.
Speak up, Bannister.
There was no man, sir.
I'm sorry to hear you saying that, Bannister. Up to now you may have spoken the truth, but now I know that you've lied.
There was no man, sir.
Come, Bannister.
No, sir. There was no one.
Well, in that case, you can give us no further information, but I would like you to remain in the room. Now, Mr. Soames, I'm going to ask you to go up to young Gilchrist and ask him to step down here.
Oh, yes. No, I don't see. Yes, of course.
Yes, Watson, I think it might be best if you were to position yourself by the window. Yes, there you may the better observe what's to follow.
Holmes, I don't quite see.
No, but you will see. I assure you that revelation is at hand. Bannister, you're sure you have nothing to say to us?
No, sir. Nothing, sir.
Very well. From now on, you'll be silent. Stand over there to the bedroom door.
Yes, sir.
Gilchrist is on his way, but I don't really...
Would you please resume your seat?
Oh, well...
You want to see me, gentlemen?
Yes, Mr. Gilchrist, would you please close the door? We are all quite alone here, and no one need ever know one word of what passes between us. We can be perfectly frank with each other. We want to know, Mr. Gilchrist, why you, an honourable man, ever came to commit such an act as you did yesterday.
Bannister!
No, Mr. Gilchrist, sir. I never said a word. Never one word.
No, but you have now. You must see, sir, that your position is hopeless, that your only chance of escaping from public disgrace lies in a frank confession.
Why, you ask, why did I do it? Well, Mr. Holmes, for now I know who you are. I have asked myself that question every moment ever since. Why? Why? Why?
Come, sir. It is human to err. Sit down. Sit down and compose yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perhaps it would be easier for you if I were to describe what occurred. You must listen carefully and see that I do you no injustice. From the moment, Mr. Soames, that you told me that no one, not even Bannister, could have known that the examination papers were in your room, the case began to take a definite shape in my mind. It seemed an unthinkable coincidence that a man should dare to enter the room, and that by chance on the very day the paper should be on that table. I dismissed that. The man who entered knew that the papers were there.
But how could he have known?
Now, one moment, Watson. I am right, am I not, Mr. Gilchrist?
Yes.
Now, Watson, you ask how could he have known. When we came to St. Luke's yesterday, you remember that I first examined this window from the outside.
I do indeed.
You, Mr. Soames, amused me by supposing that I was contemplating the possibility of someone having, in broad daylight, forced himself through it.
Well, it seemed at the time, I thought
Such
that
an idea was absurd. I dismissed it as soon as I saw the outside of these rooms. What I was interested in was how tall a man would need to be in order to see, as he passed, what papers were on the central table. I am 6 feet high, and I could only do it with an effort. No one smaller than I would have had a chance.
That is why you were so interested in the height of the three students.
That is why. How tall are you, Mr. Gilchrist?
6'3.5".
And am I right in my conjecture?
You are.
Now, Soames, the cut in the leather top of your table.
Ah, yes, it is a new table. Fine leather.
I could make nothing of that cut until, in your description of Gilchrist, you mentioned that he was a long-distance jumper. Then the whole thing came to me in an instant, and I only required certain corroborative evidence, which I speedily obtained. What happened was this. Listen carefully, Mr. Gilchrist. You employed yesterday afternoon at the athletic grounds practicing the jump. You returned through the college quad carrying your jumping shoes, which are provided with several sharp spikes. Do you see my drift, Mr. Soames?
Not really, no.
By means of your great height, Gilchrist, you saw the proofs laid out upon the table and guessed what they were, correct?
Correct.
Well, no harm would have been done, had it not been that as he passed your door, Soames, he saw the key which had been left there due to Bannister's carelessness. A sudden impulse came over him to enter and see if they were indeed the proofs.
That is true. It was the damnedest thing.
Well, when you saw that they were the proofs of the exam papers, you yielded to temptation. You put your shoes, your spiked shoes, on the table. And what was it that you put on that chair near the window?
My gloves.
Ah, your gloves.
I took the proofs one at a time to the window to copy them. I thought that Mr. Soames would return by the main gate and I would be able to see him.
I came in by the side gate.
I was not to know that, sir.
No. No, of course not.
The first I knew of your return was when I heard you outside the door of this room.
There was no possible escape. You caught up your shoes and darted into the bedroom. You can see that the cut on the tabletop is slight on the one side, but deepens in the direction of the bedroom door. That in itself is enough to show us the direction in which the shoes were drawn, and that is where the intruder took refuge as companion to Mr. Soames' hanging clothes. Do you dispute this, Mr. Gilchrist?
In essence, all you say is true.
Well, good heavens, man! You confess to your misdeed, and you have nothing to add?
Yes, sir, I have. But the shock of this disgraceful exposure has bewildered me. I have a letter here which I wrote to you early this morning in the middle of a restless night. It was before I knew that my sin had found me out. Please read it aloud, sir.
Dear Mr. Soames, etc. I have determined not to go in for the Fortescue Prize. I have been offered a commission in the Rhodesian police, and I am going out to South Africa at once. Well, I'm glad to know that you did not intend to profit by your unfair advantage.
May one ask, why did you change your purpose?
Bannister can tell you.
Yes, Bannister, you must speak frankly now. It is clear that only you could have let this young man out and, having done so, locked the door behind you and gone to your own quarters. There is no question now as to what happened. But I ask you to clear up the last point in this puzzle and tell us the reason for your action.
Oh, simple enough, sir. If only you'd known. But with all your cleverness, Mr. Holmes, it was impossible that you should know. Time was, gentlemen, when I was butler to old Sir Jabez Gilchrist, this young gentleman's father. Now, when Sir Jabez was ruined, I came to college as servant. When his son came here as a student, I watched him for all I could. For all I could. For the sake of the old days,
Yesterday
I would have
afternoon, Bannister.
Well, when I came into this room after the alarm was given, the first thing that I saw was Mr. Gilchrist's gloves lying on that chair. I knew those gloves well, and I understood their message. If Mr. Soames saw them, the game was up. So I flopped down on that chair, and nothing would have shifted me until Mr. Soames had gone, and I could release me young master. I dandled him on my knee, sir.
You gave him his gloves and hurried him hence. You knew that he'd done wrong.
Well, he confessed it all to me. Now, wasn't it natural, sir, that I should save him? Wasn't it natural, also, that I should speak to him as his dead father would have done, and make him understand that he couldn't profit by such a deed? Do you blame me, sir?
No, Mr. Bannister. I do not. I salute you for your loyalty. Well, Mr. Soames, I think we've cleared your little problem up, and breakfast awaits us. I'm grateful to you for having drawn my attention to the puzzle that I've just solved. It's an engrossing one. Now, Watson, to be late for supper is forgivable. To be late for breakfast will put us beyond the pale. Mr. Gilchrist, I trust that a bright future awaits you in Rhodesia. For once you have fallen low, let us see in the future how high you can rise. A pyramidal mixture of clay and sawdust. That's what adheres to the spikes of an athlete's shoes.
And the spikes made the mark on the tabletop. A sad end to young Gilchrist's university career.
Sad, yes. But he's young, basically a good fellow. He's made a mistake once. He will not do so again. That will be an ample time for breakfast.
Yes, and I'm ready for it. Mrs. Burdick's breakfasts are quite splendid.
I fear that I've been a surly companion over the past few days. Yes, but the solving of this problem of the 3 students has quite stimulated me. We'll have breakfast, smoke a pipe, I shall go to the library and apply myself. And I fully intend to be back in Baker Street in time for tea.
I'll settle up with Mrs. Burdick, see to the packing, and have a last stroll around the colleges. I think that when I come to write up this case, it will be best for me not to be specific as to the actual university, or the true names of the protagonists. The facts, of course, I shall report accurately.
As ever, Watson, you will be the guardian of fact and the soul of discretion.
In The 3 Students, Sherlock Holmes was played by Clive Merrison and Dr. Watson by Michael Williams, with Dennis Hawthorne as Hilton Soames and Desmond Llewellyn as Bannister. Gilchrist was played by Michael Onslow, Dowlett Rass by David Thorpe, and Miles McLaren by Matthew Morgan. The violinist was Leonard Friedman. The 3 Students was dramatized for radio by Dennis Hawthorne and directed by Enid Williams.